Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is The Sun Shall Be Turned into Darkness and the Moon into Blood. All right, and real quick, I just want to go over this total lunar eclipse that's happening, but I'm going to make sure I'm not, okay, I'm good. I was going to say, let me make sure that the screen audio has been recorded, but I'm not going to have any videos or anything like that. This is Luke 21 and 25. It says the return of Yahweh Shai, right? We know that Yahweh Shai is coming in the midst of World War III, right, to destroy the armies pursuant to 2nd Ezra chapter 13, right? And he's also going to take up his elect pursuant to Matthew 24, verse 30, right? And when he comes during that time, the nuclear missiles will be shot, and the Lord will be destroying the armies round about, pursuant to Isaiah 34, and also picking up his elect. But things are going to be happening in the earth during that period of time, the signs and tokens and effects, right? So this is Luke 21:25. It says, "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, says men's heart filling them for fear, for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, which is a chariot, right, what you would call a UFO, with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh." And a sign that's about to take place, or one of those, things is this total eclipse moon, right? Total lunar eclipse 2026. All right, and as things are amping up around the world, the different prophecies taking place, no longer tarrying, Jacob's trouble, the MOTB in World War III, these things are drawing nigh, and our redemption is nigh, basically, right, with this blood moon happening. This is AI overview. It says a total lunar eclipse or blood moon will occur on March 3rd, 2026, featuring 58 minutes of totality visible across North America, the Pacific, Australia, and parts of Asia. The eclipse begins around 4 in the morning, right, on March 3rd, with peak red color occurring between 6 and 7. According to NASA, okay? It says date overnight of March 2nd and 3rd, 2026. You see it all there. It says visibility best viewed in Western North America, the Pacific Ocean, New Zealand, and Australia. For most of North America, this is a morning event before sunrise. Totality duration, the moon will be entirely within Earth's shadow for 58 minutes. What to expect, the moon will turn a deep red or coppery color, blood moon. The eclipse is completely safe to view with the naked eye and requires no special equipment, though binoculars can enhance the view. All right, so these are those signs, right? Luke 21 and 25, isn't it? Luke 21 and 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. And upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, right? And I got a couple precepts, and precepts that I want to go over. Read Isaiah over there. This is Joel 2 and 31, right? It says, "The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood." Oh, well, Slakia, that was Joel 2 and 31. Then we got Acts 2 and 20, which goes into the title. It says, "The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and notable day of the Lord come." All right. So these are, like I keep saying, signs and effects, in the skies. And we see the time is definitely near. Right. So this is some scriptures on the day of the Lord. Right. Isaiah 2 and 12. It says, "For the day of the Lord, Yahweh Bashmel shall host shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low." Isaiah 13 and 6, it says, "Howl ye," which I got Isaiah 13 pulled up already, and I'm going to read most of that. It says, "Howl ye, for the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shah is at hand. it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Isaiah 13:9, it says, Behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel shall cometh, cruel both with wrath, fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. All right, and we know that the grand finale will ultimately be the nuclear missiles. That's how the land is going to be laid desolate, right? Along with the fire beams coming forth from the chariots. All right. Jeremiah 46:10, it says, For this is the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel shall of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge of him his adversaries. And the sword shall devour it, and it shall be satiate and made drunk with the blood. It's like sitting there, basically. We'll get it. And made drunk with the blood, for the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel of hosts have a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates. Now, ultimately, this is talking about America, all right, in these last days. Let me grab this. Okay, it says to be satisfied, be sated, be fulfilled, surfeited, to be sated, having excess, to enrich, satisfied. All right, be fulfilled, be filled, have one's fill of, to have an excess. So I'll read that again. It says, Jeremiah 46:10, For this is the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel shall of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries. And the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiated and made drunk with their blood. For the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel shall of hosts have a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates. So ultimately, the Most High is going to do a sure, complete destruction of this place, Babylon the Great. All right. Joel 1:15, it says, Alas for the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel shall at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. All right. Joel 2:1, it says, Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound the alarm in my holy mountain, and let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel shall cometh, for it is nigh at hand. All right. I gave you this Joel 2, right, with the moon turning to blood and the sun being darkened. Right, and that's what happens during a total lunar eclipse. Let me see. Let me search it up. During all right, we go over here. This dude, Prince Andrew, got arrested for the Epstein list. But anyway, what happens to the moon and sun during a total lunar eclipse? It says during a total lunar eclipse, the Earth passes directly between the sun and moon, casting its dark shadow, umbra, across the entire lunar surface. The moon, usually bright, turns a reddish blood moon color as Earth's atmosphere filters sunlight, scattering blue light while bending red light onto it. The sun is hidden behind the Earth. All right. Yeah, it says to a blackout. The sun's gonna be dark. All right, the sun's gonna be dark, and the moon is gonna be bright red. Earth's gonna be in the middle. So in that area, it's gonna be dark in that area, but you're gonna see the moon bright. All right. It's Isaiah 13 and 6. It says, how ye, for the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashmi is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another, their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashmi shall cometh cruel both with wrath and fierce anger to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Ultimately, what? The nuclear missiles being shot at the last end, right? And the elect being beamed up into those UFOs to be delivered from the destruction. It says, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. So these are more signs, because ultimately the sky is going to be black from what? The smoke, right? You won't be able to see the sky with how much mushroom clouds. All right. You know, it's like pollution. The whole sky is going to be covered with the smoke, the black smoke of the mushroom clouds. These mushroom clouds are going to hit other areas too. All right. It says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir, right? Which is like a type of pure as gold, you know? It says, therefore will I shake the heavens, and the earth shall move out of her place, and the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel shall host, and in the day of his fierce anger. He's going to shake this place, earthquakes, right? Along with the effects of the nuclear missiles being sent, is going to shake the earth. And it shall be as the chase roll, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. Right? NLT says they run around like gazelles, you know, and trying to escape. You know, trying to get the hell up out of there, basically, with all the destruction that's taking place. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Right. So all these things are going to be happening at the end in these last days of different judgment, tribulations, you know, problems. You know, that the Most High Yahweh Bashmiah is going to send in this place, and it's dying. We can all see that. It won't be long now before, you know, the dollar collapses and things are bad here in America, where, you know, you can't get any for it, or if you can, it costs $500 for a slice of bread, right? And then what that's going to cause people to actually fight amongst each other, right? Everyone, you know, some people be homeless and they have to go and, you know, try to make do. Even homeless people is eating, you know, asking for dollars here and there, this and the third. But pretty soon it's going to be so bad where everyone is homeless and they're all fighting each other, you know, to get some type of comfort of food and shelter and things like that, right? So that's what we all have to look forward to, right? But pursuant to Isaiah 65, there's an elect that will get it, okay? This is Isaiah 65 and 11, kind of going to the point, because there's a separation from the 2/3, right, and the 1/3. Now you have to understand that as the Israelites, we're scattered among all the nations, and we look like different nations, you know. But you also have, you know, the actual heathen that are just there, right? This is about the Israelites. You have to repent and turn back to Yahweh Bashmiah Rashai, or, you know, you're gonna suffer the death, right, and be without. This is Isaiah 65 and 11. It says, but ye are they that forsake the Lord Yahweh Bashmiah Rashai, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Yeah, trusting in Esau, Edom, and his idols. You know, people is trusting in AI right now, artificial intelligence, to make them some money, you know, and help them do things and all of that. When that's leading nowhere, right? Type of world where everything is digital and traced and tracked and controlled by the wicked who don't want nothing good for you anyway. It's not a place to be. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmiah Shai, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. So you're gonna be going howl, you're gonna be going through complete hell and torments, screaming, all right, trying to, do something, make something shake. That's why you see a lot of women now. Women are the weaker vessel, but what are they doing? When all they can't do nothing, so they just crying and screaming like a baby. A baby when it's born, it can't do anything. It may be hungry, or you got to change the diapers, uncomfortable or something, and it can't do anything for itself. So the baby cries and screams, twists and turns, right? And that's what people are going to be doing, and we already seen it happening now all over social media. People are just crying and complaining, right? So we just ended up right there. Lord willing, you will edify from the lesson. Shalom to the whole elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.